Well, a very good afternoon, everyone. This is Derek Disley. Welcome you to Hilton Park for this afternoon's Stones Bidder Championship First Division fixture between Leigh and Bradford Northern. Leigh currently bottom of the First Division, entertaining the team that lies in second position behind mighty Wigan. Bradford just one defeat in the league so far this season. But the Leigh side that will attempt to make that 2 this afternoon is as follows. It's a 1 Dean Hanger, 2 Mark Sarsfield, 3 Simon Booth, 4 Troy Clark, 5 Duncan Platt, 6 John Gunning, 7 Jason Donoghue, 8 Lee Hansen, 9 Paul Rowley, 10 Tim Street, 11 John Pendlebury, 12 Andy Collier and 13 Scott Martin. And the Leigh substitutes are at 14 Steve Corley and 15 Simon Baldwin. The Yorkshire pace setters from Odsall, Bradford, will line up as follows. They've got at number 1 Dave Watson, 2 Gerald Caudle, 3 Daryl Shelford, 4 Paul Newlove, 5 Brimmer Kebby, 6 Neil Summers, 7 Derek Fox, 8 Paul Gratian, 9 Trevor Clark, 10 John Hamer, 11 Roy Powell, 12 Paul Dixon and 13 Carl Furbank. The Northern substitutes are at 14 Steve McGowan and 15 Brian McDermott. And our match official is Mr. Colin Morris from Huddersfield. And there's the 2 skippers. Derek Fox from Northern and Tim Street from Leigh go to the centre to meet the match official today with the 3 Leigh mascots for this afternoon's match. I'll just mention today's sponsors. The big match sponsors are a host of landlords from the Leigh area, including the Brooklands, Bridge Inn, Georgian Dragon, Musketeer, Outhouse Inn, the Letters Inn from Atherton, the Bridgewater's Arms and the Eagle and Child. Today's match ball donor is Breakaway Leisure Limited from Eccles in Manchester. The Leigh reporter are today's programme sponsor, and Neil Kinsella and Associates are today's video sponsors. So all the preliminaries over. It will be Leigh to kick off to get this First Division fixture underway here at Hilton Park. These 2 sides, of course, met in a pre-season friendly at Bradford, which Bradford won rather heavily. But it's all that happens on the day here this afternoon as Bradford strive to go back to the top of the First Division. Wigan, of course, away at Thrum Hall, Halifax. But here at Hilton Park, John Gunning gets the game underway. And Gratian is the first man in possession from the kick-off for Northern. So Northern on their own quarter line. Clark hands it on. Missile surges from Paul Dixon. Of course, Northern without Hobbs, Medley and Heron this afternoon in their pack, but still a formidable 6 out. Clark hands on to Gratian. Gratian looking to unload in the tattle. 3 men from Leigh stop him. Clark behind the play, the ball once more for Northern. Goes right to the little General Fox. Duncan Platt take possession for Leigh, and Leigh have possession for the first time in the game. So Platt straight into a tattle from Powell, and it's Troy Clark for the home side at acting halfback. Well, that's a terrible pass to no one in particular. Leigh move it across the field to Hanger. Hanger looking for a way down centre field, but Summers quick to close that gap. Gunning hands it on to Collier now for Leigh. That's a good run from Collier. Good tattle coming in from Gratian. Skipper Street leads the rush. Donoghue takes them on. Tattlers of Fox and Gratian, but good early start from Leigh. Gunning looking for space down centre field. Again, the combined tattlers are Gratian and Fox. Back to Donoghue for the kick. Donoghue gets a little space, gets away from Fox. Kick comes in, an easy one for Watson to take, and the Kiwi sets off on one of those mesmerising runs that we know he can do. But Lee Hansen makes the stop. Now, Clark from acting halfback. Good tackling from behind by Scott Martin. Street missed the initial tattle. Here comes Carl Furbank, prop forward at Wembley last week for Great Britain. Finds himself at loose forward for Bradford Northern this afternoon. Fox again. Gratian well met there by Pendlebury and Street. That's better defence from Leigh. Grayson gets up very slowly from that hard tattle. Powell gets it inside, looks a little forward, as did that one as well. Referee Colin Morris from Huddersfield calls them back for the second one, and we'll scrum it 12 metres or so inside the Leigh half, with Paul Grayson, I think, a little worse for wear. Referee stopping the clock. Dumped unceremoniously by the Leigh duo. Not a spear tattle though, said Mr. Morris. So play allowed to continue, but it looks like a leg injury for the big number 8. And he limps back into the fray as we have our first scrum of the afternoon. Scott Martin comes away with the ball for Leigh and loses the ball, but Leigh got a penalty for ball pinching. And the first scrum and the first penalty of the game both go Leigh's way. 3 minutes gone, we still wait our first points of the afternoon. Fine kick from Donoghue. Leigh got an injury as well, fullback Dean Anger limping. Lee Hanson first man in, taking on this reputable Northern pack. It looks as though Northern are going to be forced into an early substitution as Street drives in for Leigh. Leigh inside the Bradford quarter line. It's now with Donoghue. On to Gunning. Gunning takes the short ball, stopped 10 metres out. Rolling now right to Donoghue. Donoghue kicks ahead. That will be a penalty for Leigh for offside. Trevor Clark, very unfortunate, natural reaction to grab the ball. 4 minutes on the watch and Bradford forced into making a substitution. Paul Grayson limps off. Brian McDermott will come on to replace him after just 4 minutes play. And it's Leigh with the opportunity of early points. Leigh's fullback Dean Anger again receiving treatment from the Leigh physio, so both sides in the wars in these opening minutes. But Anger is fit to continue. Grayson has limped off. So it'll be Troy Clark almost in front of the Northern Pulse. His first attempt of the afternoon, just 5 minutes on the watch. The flags are up, the cheers are up, and Leigh are 2 points up. 5 minutes on the watch. A Troy Clark penalty opens the scoring here at Hilton Park this afternoon. It's now a scoreline of Leigh 2 points, Bradford Northern 0. Well, early days yet, but Northern been running a lot of points in recent weeks. Collier makes that one his own on his own quarter line. Makes good yardage with Powell hanging on to him. Leigh Hanson on the charge now. 3 Northern tattlers stop him. Pendlebury on to Strait. Strait tries to brush them off. Good defence though from Furbank and Summers. Donoghue now hands it on to Collier. Collier looks for space down centre field. It's well stopped though by a tattle from Hamer. I'll roll it. Another man in action last weekend at Wembley for the Great Britain Academy team. Gunning with the kick for the home side. Watson allows it to bounce. Then sets off on a run and is stopped by Clark and Platt. So Northern in possession inside their own quarter with Caudle. Leigh, of course, who want to try and force the error from the visitors. Northern will want to clear their lines. It's a good run, getting over the quarter line. Now the substitute McDermott. Now Furbank on the charge, gets it away to Fox. Stay with Powell. Better play from Northern. Good ball control. Collier and Hanson, the Leigh tattlers, to knock on at the play the ball. And we'll have our second scrum of the 7 minutes gone at Hilton Park. Leigh still ahead by 2 points to 0, and Leigh come up with the possession. Gunning now. On to Booth. Booth can't get away from Newlove's tackle. Fox is in on the stop as well. Gunning from Acton half-back. On to Hanson. That's good defence from McDermott. Rolling out to Scott Martin. Clark the tackler. Good defence from Northern. Donoghue now for Leigh. Out to Street. Back to Donoghue. To Gunning. Gunning kicks ahead. The chase is on. But the ball goes out of play. Referee will call them back to the 10-metre mark, and Northern will have their first feed at the scrum. So an enterprising opening by the side currently at the bottom of the First Division. Fox with the feed, possession to Northern. Summers stopped by his opposite number, Gunning, but it's Northern with the possession now. Getting rid of that ball well in the tackle. Newlove now. Can't find the gap. Loses his boot in the process. Good defence by Hanson on Furbank. Fox's long ball out to Summers. Overlap worked here for Shelford. Out to Cardle. Cardle steps inside. The tackle from Platt. Clark completes the stop. Shelford behind the play of the ball. Summers gets it out to Fox. Fox ducks under Collier's attempted tackle, but good defence by Leigh, and Leigh have come up with possession. Not stolen, says the referee. Scott Martin looking for a way through for Leigh. Good defence from McDermott. Defence is on top at the moment. Hanson taking it up. The reception committee's there again in the shape of Dixon and Furbank. Donoghue now for Leigh. Out to Street. I don't think he was expecting that. Gets it back to Donoghue. Donoghue gets away from one tackle. Referee indicates Northern have touched it. So Hanger gets away from the play of the ball for Leigh. Takes play into the northern half of the field. McDermott and Clark are the tacklers. Rowley as well. Good run from Rowley. Still going. Dodging and weaving. Young Leigh Hooker takes play to within 30 metres of the northern line. Donoghue now up to Pendlebury. It's now with Martin, couldn't take the pass. Clark can, but he's dropped the ball. One pass too many there by the home side. Northern relieved to see the ball go to ground, and they'll have head and ball at the scrum on their own quarter line. So Leigh supporters finding their voices early on in this match. Nothing really for the Northern supporters to shout about in the opening 10 minutes. But Northern win the possession from the scrum. Half break by Summers. Quickly closed down by Gunning. So now Northern on the charge once again with Newlove. McDermott the substitute, getting in on the action. Good defence by Tim Street. Took a bit of a knock for his pains. Clark hands it on to Fox. The long ball finds Summers. Inside ball to Watson. Good defence by Hanson. Watson kicks it, throws it backwards. And Leigh up quickly to smother Newlove. Northern go back 10 metres in possession. Now here comes Roy Powell. Northern not really settled into their pattern yet, but that's due to the good defence by Leigh in these early stages. So Fox with the kick. Tries to turn the Leigh defence. Bounces kindly for Northern. And in the end, Anger lets it drift over the dead ball line, and Leigh will settle for the 20-metre tap. So 11.5 minutes of the game gone. Duncan Platt in for Leigh. Good run. Clark and Powell the tacklers. Rowley again attacking from the Acton half-back position. The ball is dropped. Rowley claiming a spear tackle. Referee Morris will have none. We'll scrum it 10 metres inside the Leigh half of the field. So Leigh not making use of their 6 tackles on that occasion. Fox to feed once more. The Leigh front row not down. They are now. Fox feeds, possession to Northern. Summers now. Summers on the break. Brilliant defence from Gunning. Caught him with the shirt collar then ruined it all by holding him down in the tackle and conceding the penalty. Well, will Northern go for goal? No, Fox will go for position. Finds touch 24 metres from the Leigh try line. Clark with the tap. This is the best attack we've seen from Northern. Well, that was a blatant forward pass to Hamer right under the referee's nose. Northern get away with it. Keep it moving with Fox. On to Dixon. Northern 15 metres out with Summers. The inside ball now to Furbank. Furbank's held up. Ball and all, good defence by Leigh again, but Northern beginning to put the pressure on now. On to Powell. Leigh again, smother the ball in the tackle. This is the best we've seen from Northern so far. Fox dodges and weaves to McDermott. Great tackle from Donoghue. They're on the last tackle. Can Leigh hold them? Well, they can't. Hooker Trevor Clark forces his way over for a 14th minute try for the visitors. Northern are ahead for the first time in the game. They lead Leigh by 4 points to 2. Well, the Leigh defence was sucked in for that play of the ball. The wide ball from Fox just gave Clark sufficient room to stretch over despite the tackle from Pendlebury. Now it's Derek Fox from in front of the Leigh post to try and increase the Northern lead. It's 4 points to 2 at the moment. It's Fox's first attempt of the game. Fox makes it 6. 14 minutes gone here at Hilton Park in this Stones Bidder Championship First Division fixture. It's now a scoreline of Leigh 2 points, Bradford Northern 6. So it's Gunning back at the centre with the restart for the home side. Straight into the arms of Fox, hands it on to McDermott. Dermott up to the quarter line before Pendlebury makes the stop. Northern moving it about. It's a solid tackle on Hamer. Clark manages to get the ball out in the end onto Hamer. Northern in possession midway between their own quarter and halfway. Fox's long ball again finds Summers inside to Newlove. Newlove gets it away to Watson. Good overlap here for Northern. Clark forced back inside. Good defence from Platt. Kemi come all the way over from the left touch line to take the tackle from the other number 5, Duncan Platt. Clark now to Fox. Fox changes the kick. The ball finds touch. Leigh were caught without a sweeper on that occasion. Hanger was too deep. Fox read the situation well, but the bounce beat Caudle. And Leigh will have head and possession, head and ball at the scrum. Beg your pardon. Get the possession anyway. Makes the scrums 3 each. No way through for Donoghue. Good defence, Summers and Furbank. Gunning now onto Collier. Again, 3 Northern forwards in the tackle. Clark looking for a way from acting half-back. Can't escape the clutches though of Shelford. Pendlebury's inside ball now to Rowley. Rowley hands it on to Platt. Clark makes the stop. Donoghue now for Leigh. On to Street. Street gets it back to Donoghue. Donoghue looks for the pace, gets it away to Rowley. Now with Scott Martin to Clark. All very intricate from Leigh, but the Northern defence stands its ground. We're on the last tackle. Rowley puts the kick in. That will come back for Leigh for 6 more. The referee says it was a charge kick. Northern got no advantage. The first turnover of the game goes Northern's way. An injury to a Leigh player. Referee Morris stops the clock. Gunning, I think, is the injured Leigh player. Receiving treatment. Northern will play the ball. John Hamer almost on halfway. Coming up to 18 minutes on the watch in the first half. Gunning fit to resume. Hamer will play the ball to Clark. Clark goes from acting half-back. Takes play into the Leigh half of the field. Roy Powell now behind the play of the ball. It's on to McDermott. Fox now finds its way to Shelford. It's a fine ball from Furbank. Good handling again by Northern, beginning to move up a gear. Fox beginning to dictate things. On to Watson, to Summers. Keeps it moving to Hamer. On to Newlove. Great defence booth for Leigh. Two Leigh players knocked down there after that play the ball. The kick ahead comes in from Kebby, and Platt's forced to take it over the dead ball line. And certainly Northern in command at the moment. Leigh forced to drop out from under their own posts. Still Leigh 2, Bradford 6. And Leigh in no rush to get on with things. So Gunning once more. Drops out long. Watson takes it almost on halfway. Falls to the first tattlers, who are Rowley and Pendlebury. Furbank on to McDermott. He's stopped on the Leigh quarter line by Hanson. Clark goes left to Hamer. Northern driving in with their forwards to set up the position once more. Clark goes left to Fox. Now with second row Dixon. Leigh hold them up 10 metres out. Fox again, the long pass now to Summers. On to Shelford. But it's intercepted by Platt. Can he go the distance? He's looking for the pace. Hanger forced inside. Leigh were looking for someone with pace then. Hanger was the man. Scott Martin gets away from the first attempted tackle by Fox. Good defence from McDermott. Leigh encouraged by that little jink. Oh, that's a bad pass though, by a bad lose by Gunning. Straight to Newlove. Oh, that's a terrible tackle. Terrible spear tackle by Leigh. Leigh have complained about one previously, and Rowley was the man on the receiving end then. Well, referee Morris will consult the Leigh with his touch judges. Who's he pulling out? He's pulling Pendlebury out. I think that's going to be a dismissal. In fact, it's Leigh Hanson who's sent off in the 21st minute. So Leigh with a mountain to climb now. Paul Newlove, certainly the worst for wear. The spear tattle, we referred to it earlier. Northern claimed that was what had done Paul Gratian in the first 4 minutes. Paul Rowley claimed he'd had one later on, and now there's no doubt in that was definitely the spear tattle. I think it could be a stretcher job for Newlove. Certainly a lot of concern in the Northern ranks. No, he looks as though he may be up on his feet. I think he could be going off. Well, is Newlove going to continue? He is. It was a terrible knock he took, Paul Newlove. And referee Colin Morris is being forced to speak to the Northern bench on the intervention of the touch judge on the far side. They're not happy with the tackle, but the Leigh player has been dismissed, and Fox will now go for goal. So after a long delay, it'll be Derek Fox to try and increase the Northern lead, and Leigh down to 12 men for the remainder of this match. So almost 40 metres out, but almost in front of the post as well. And Fox misses that one, and Leigh come up with possession with Sarsfield. So what can the 12 men from Hilton Park do now? Skipper Street leads by example. That was a high one by McDermott. And referee Morris is going to have to keep a close grip on this one now. Street takes it up again. Clark is the tackler for Northern. Donahue hands it on to Pendlebury. Ball's kicked away in disgust by Gunning. Pendlebury lost the ball and a crunch tackle there. And Northern will have head and ball at the scrum, just inside the Leigh half of the field. Will Northern win the scrum? Well, was that crossing? No, says the referee. Well, Shelford certainly went through the Leigh ranks. Perhaps he didn't take a Leigh player out of the game. But here's Newlove, quickly recovered. Leigh tattlers show no mercy on him though. Kebby gets involved, nothing to do with him. And the referee, Mr. Morris, I said it a few moments ago, Leigh had made a perfectly fair tackle. The referee stops the clock. Referee trying his best to keep the sides apart. Touch judge on the far side will consult with referee Morris. And we'll have to see which way the penalty goes. We've had 25 minutes of normal time, but there's quite a bit of injury time to add to that for the Newlove injury. And Kebby is called out, so presumably the penalty will go to the home side. It's calling Gunning out as well though. Well, it's heart-to-heart talking from referee Morris. Well, he spoke to two people, now he's speaking to the two captains. Now we're using a bit of sense, Mr. Morris. Should certainly have diffused the situation somewhat with this long delay. But if he's talking to both captains, that should be the last of it. The next one, and he should be walking along with Leigh Hanson. Well, certainly a long lecture from Mr. Morris. And the penalty finally goes Leigh's way. So Donahue with the relieving kick to touch. Finds touch midway between halfway and the northern quarter line. So the 12 men of Leigh once more. Street on the charge. Almost up to the quarter line. Rowley behind the play the ball. Brings in Pendlebury. Tattlers are there again from Northern. Rowley goes from acting half-back. Held up by a tattle from Dixon. Scott Martin now. Fine break from Collier. Great defence there coming in from Northern, right under their own posts. Donahue puts the kick in. It's kicked dead by Newlove. And Northern will be forced to drop out from under their own posts. Good spell from Leigh this. They really need points though. A man down and 4 points behind. Northern have been in command for the last 15 minutes or so. Fox's drop out, goes to halfway. Donahue hands on to Hanger. The Tatler is Shelford and Summers. They drag him back 5 metres. Black now takes it up for Leigh. Good tattle low down from McDermott. Rolling now on to Pendlebury. Inside ball to Martin. Leigh looking for space. Northern won't give it them. Donahue's long pass out to Gunning. Gunning skips away from one tattle. Then dummies. The ball's on the floor. And Northern are back in possession. Kebby behind the play the ball. Moves it right. Street just a little late getting to that tattle. Gets away with it. Now it's McDermott. It's good defence from Pendlebury for Leigh. Clark now moves it right to Summers. Good defence in the end by Martin and Donahue. Fox now. Fox dodges and weaves, gets it away in the end to Watson. Wild pass coming in from Dixon. Northern player slow to rise from the tattle, but Leigh will have head and ball at the scrum. So Donahue feeds, Leigh come up with the possession. No way through for Sarsfield. Donahue now to Gunning, to Booth. Booth can't escape the clutches of Shelford and Newlove. Martin now for Leigh. On to Gunning. It's out to Hanger. Hanger slips. Still gets away from Fox though. Fox recovers to make the stop with Kebby. So Leigh move it right now. It's now with Donahue. On to Pendlebury, back to Donahue. Well, was that high from Furbank? Donahue went down as though he was poleaxed, but play on, say the match officials. And now Donahue is penalised for complaining about the tattle. The referee Morris feels the wrath of the home supporters. So Fox with the kick for touch. Lines touch on halfway. 10 minutes of normal time on the watch. Clark with the tap. Fishman Ennis Powell. He makes the customary 10 metres. Clark now hands it on to Aymer. Clark complaining about the tattle, but he doesn't get penalised. It's now with Fox, on to Shelford. Good tattle, Troy Clark for Leigh. Fox now hands it on to Trevor Clark, to Powell. Held up in centre field by Pendlebury and Street. Clark goes from acting half-back. On to Furbank. On to Summers. Good play Northern. Good defence Leigh. Clark now will Northern get a second one here. Good defence Leigh, and it's on the 6th tattle, and Leigh get a turnover. That's relief for the home side. Was that high from Clark? It was. What will the referee do? He'll just give Leigh a penalty. Not the best of kicks from Donahue. At least he finds touch for the home side, and Leigh will have the tap. Platt takes it up now. Runs into Clark and Hamer. Pendlebury. McDermott and Furbank the tattlers this time. On to Clark. I beg your pardon, it's second row Collier. Rowley goes from acting half-back. Leigh getting a little desperate at the moment. Street takes it up, gets it out to Troy Clark, who slips at the feet of Darryl Shelford. Last one indicates the referee back to gunning for the kick. Well, that'll be all on, but it falls kindly for Fox. Hands it on to, well, was he tattled? Certainly his progress was stopped, but Watson gets the ball away. Everything going Northern's way at the moment. Here comes Furbank now. And that looks like being a second try for Neil Summers. Neil Summers scoots over from halfway, just like he did in this fixture last season. Comes in the 33rd minute, and that certainly gives Northern the cushion that they wanted. Neil Summers races over for Northern's second try to make the scoreline Leigh 2, Northern 10, with the conversion to follow. So Derek Fox from once again in front of the Leigh post, tags on the conversion, and Northern now in total command. It's a scoreline here at Hilton Park of Leigh 2 points, Bradford Northern 12, and a reminder that Leigh are down to 12 men following the 21st minute dismissal of their prop forward Lee Hansen. So Gunning back at the centre once more for the restart for the home side. And Leigh have really got a mountain to climb now. The kick is deep, Watson takes it, hands it on. And Dixon is stopped on his own quarter line. So Watson on to Fox, on to Powell. Well, Powell had worked the overlap, but he gets the ball away again in the tattle, and that's got to be Leigh's problem at the moment. They can't stop Northern when they're going forward. On the charges, Hamer, great ball. Good tackling for Leigh by Clark. On his opposite number, Shelford, but Northern really in top gear now. Keep it moving to McDermott. Northern making this extra man count at the moment. Finds its way to Shelford. 3 Leigh tattlers there to stop him 25 metres out. Trevor Clark behind the play, the ball for Northern. On to Fox. On to Hamer. And it's the last one indicates referee Morris. What will Northern conjure up here? Watson. Finds its way to Caudle. And Newloff steps in for another one. And Northern are beginning to run riot. 36 minutes on the watch, and it's 16 points to 2 to the visitors from Odsal. Paul Newlove, the scorer of their third try. Well, things looking pretty desperate now for the home side. Bottom of the league, as I said before the kick-off. Whatever happens this afternoon, they would have remained there. And certainly a long way back from this position, with 12 men against the Northern in this type of form. Fox now 2 from 2 attempts so far this afternoon. Makes it 3 from 3. Scoreline now with 3.5 minutes plus injury time to add on in this first half. It's Leigh 2, Bradford Northern 18. So Donoghue with the kick off this time for Leigh. Fox makes that one his own. Hands it on. A good run from Dixon again. Clears the quarter line this time. Northern looking good at the moment. Watson dodging and weaving as usual. Gets it away to Powell in the end. Powell on a run, brought down by Martin. In fact, beg his pardon, it was Donahue. Fox now gets it out. It's passed inside to Watson by Furbank. Watson dodging and gets it away to Newlove. Oh, Northern just too much class at the moment for Leigh. Leigh just cannot hold them. Northern 25 metres out. Clark onto Fox. Good defence by Booth that time for Leigh. Northern threatening points every time they have possession. Hamer stopped 15 metres out. Last tattle again. Will Northern conjure up from this one? Well, they keep it moving. Referee has called them back for the turnover. Now, what can Leigh do in the remaining minutes of this first half? They really need a try to have any hope of getting anything from this game in the second period. Well, Leigh, they're almost enemies at the moment. Donahue now out to Pendlebury. Well wrapped up by McDermott though. Furbank in on the stop as well. Donahue tries to crash through. Can't get the ball away. Northern wrap it up in the tattle. A kick from Gunning is straight into the arms of Watson. He hangs on to Caudle. And Collier makes the tattle for Leigh. Fox now hands it on to Dixon. And the extra man in the pack for Bradford beginning to show, making far more penetration than the Leigh forwards when in possession. There goes McDermott, gets it away to Powell. Good defence though by Hanger on that occasion for Leigh. But Northern finding it all too easy at the moment. There goes Hamer on to Fox. Fox inside to Newlove. Newlove strides through for a second. Right on the 40-minute mark. The game as a contest is over. Leigh trail by 22 points to 2. Paul Newlove gets his second try of the afternoon, and Fox is left with yet another conversion attempt from in front. Now Paul Newlove certainly shaking off the effects of the spear tattle that saw the dismissal of Hansen some 20 minutes ago. Gets 2 tries in 4 minutes. Northern have got 4 tries. Leigh have yet to get off the mark with the try stakes. No problems for Fox. Leigh 2, Bradford Northern 24. Northern, of course, not had a game for 2 weeks due to the layoff for the test match last week. Leigh had a hard time at Wigan on Tuesday evening, and being a man down as well is not helping. No excuses. Northern are the team in form, and there goes Dixon again, and it's rampant stuff. It's now on to Fox. Fox looking for men. Stopped in the end by Rowley and Donahue, but the danger signs were there for Leigh. Northern just strolled through the Leigh defence. Well, that was forward. They get away with it. Shelford stopped in centre field by Collier's tattle. Leigh have got to keep them out till half time now. There goes Newlove again. Good tattle Gunning. Again, Newlove loses a boot. Dixon throw. Well, that was well forward again to Shelford. But Northern just running through Leigh with consummate ease at the moment. Darryl Shelford, the try scorer, and it looks like being a long afternoon for the Leigh team and their supporters. That try comes in the 43rd minute of this first half. Leigh are a well-beaten side before half-time. It's Northern 28, Leigh 2. So Fox, 4 from 4 attempts so far in this first half. Makes it 5 from 5. It only gets worse for Leigh. Leigh 2 points, Bradford Northern 30. Well, it's a very disconsolate looking Leigh side that goes back to halfway. Certainly know they're second best now this afternoon. It was only 6 points to 2 when Hanson was dismissed. And Northern have really taken advantage of this extra man. Here comes McDermott again. Clears the quarter line. What will Northern come up with now? Had 44 minutes in this first half. Collier makes a tackle this time for Leigh on Dixon. Hamer takes the charge up. Every time Northern move the ball out, they certainly have more flair and pace than Leigh seem to have. On to Summers. Leigh up quickly this time to stop him. There goes Kebbit. We all know the pace of this man. Dodging and weaving, still going. Sarsfield chases and makes the stop though. Last one indicates referee Morris. Fox puts in the kick. Hanger takes it 15 metres from his own line. Makes 15 metres before the tackle. And the hooter goes with 44 and a half minutes played in this first half. The half-time scoreline of Leigh 2 points, Bradford Northern 30. Stay with us for the second half. Well, welcome back to Hilton Park for the second half of this afternoon's Stones Bidder Championship First Division fixture. Reminder of the half-time scoreline, it's Leigh 2, Bradford Northern 30. Northern kick-off, Leigh in possession from the kick-off. No substitutions in the Leigh ranks, but looks as though Northern have taken Paul Newlove off to be replaced by Steve McGowan. And Leigh have regained possession. 6 more tackles indicates referee Morris. Street now taking it up. Takes on Shelford and McDermott. Leigh with only really pride to play for in this second half. Collier on the charge. Stopped just short of halfway by Dixon and Clark. Donahue now out to Gunning. Gunning gets it away to Donahue. Certainly looked forward from my position, but referee Morris well away from it. Street now gets a good pass away to Clark. Clark comes back inside for Leigh, and Leigh will get 6 more. Donahue gets it out to Pendlebury. Furbank made the half stop. Hanger now for Leigh. Runs straight at Hamer and Clark. Northern close him down though. Roller now hangs it on to Scott Martin for Leigh. Good defence from Powell. Leigh 30 metres out. Donahue now on to Street. Back to Donahue. Out to Gunning. Gunning tries to slip past them, but no way past Powell. Donahue now hands it on to Pendlebury. Pendlebury couldn't release the ball in the tackle. Leigh 20 metres out. We're on the last tackle. So Donahue launches the high one. Well, Watson drops it. Clark picks it up for Leigh. Tries to bundle his way over. 6 more tackles for Leigh. Hanger gets it away to Street. And Tim Street stretches over for a lead try. Just over 2 minutes of the second half gone. Well, that's an encouraging start for the home supporters. Bradford, of course, with plenty to play with. But coach Peter Fox won't be too happy to see his side concede a try so early in the second half. So 12-man lead. Certainly not packed in. They looked a demoralised outfit as they went in at half-time, but they've certainly had a good pep talk from their coach Steve Sims during the interval. And the 12 men have come up with the first try of the second period. It's Leigh 6, Bradford Northern 30. So try Clark now with the difficult conversion attempt from close to the far touchline. Kick one from his only attempt in the first half, but that was almost in front of the post. Clark addresses the kick, but it's wide. But Leigh have got the try their efforts deserve. They still trail by 30 points to 6, and we've had 3.5 minutes of the second half. So it's Derek Fox back at the centre with the restart. Donoghue takes that one, hands it on to his wingman Platt. Platt fails to reach the quarter line before he's stopped by McDermott. Now Anger takes the one again, and Anger showed pace off the mark then, but 3 Northern tattlers drag him back. Street takes it up again. The block-busting run from the Leigh skipper, but again there's 3 Northern defenders there. It's inside to Donoghue. Donoghue gets it away to Martin. On to Booth now. Booth forced back inside. Takes it over halfway before Shelford gets to tattle him. Rolling out to Donoghue. To Pendlebury to Donoghue. The long ball to Gunning. On to Troy Clark. And it's straight into the arms of a Northern player. Bradford come up with possession through substitute McGowan, and then Leigh are penalised that they play the ball. They can play him bitterly, but the referee will not listen to anything. First penalty of the second half goes Northern's way. So the kick finds touch in Leigh territory. Hamer takes it up. Northern will once again look to use this extra man. Powell on the charge now. Better defence from Leigh. Pendlebury and Colley are the tattlers. Fox now. Fox gets it back from Dixon. Gets it away to Furbank. A knock on, says the referee. Things just didn't go for Northern then. The Leigh hand got in the movement. Northern could have had 6 more tattles, but squandered the opportunity. It's relief for the home supporters. Northern have got Derek Fox down injured. They certainly won't want to lose his influence on this game. Once again, Northern showed that with the ball in their hand, they got good running opportunities, and the forwards carved them out in centre field. Furbank was the man on that occasion. It's hauled down. Leigh come up with the scrum. Donoghue can't get away. Leigh retain the possession with Hanger. Referee saying it went backwards. Leigh looking to move the ball. Clark up very quickly from that play of the ball. Booth struggling to get to his feet. McGowan makes the tattle on Rowley. Scott Martin now looking for room for the home side, but Northern giving them no space whatsoever. Gunning puts the kick in. Finds touch, some 8 or 9 metres in Northern territory, but Northern will get head and ball at the scrum. So a bright opening by Leigh, 7.5 minutes gone. They've got the only try of the second half so far, but it's Northern that will be going home, unfortunately, with the league points as far as the home supporters are concerned. McGowan slips at the feet of Hanger. Neil Summers now gets a good ball away to Shelford. Booth makes the stop for Leigh, but the danger signs are there. The pace off the mark from Northern is electrifying at times. Inside ball to Watson, and this time the ironical jeers from the home supporters as the referee calls Northern back for the forward pass from Watson to Furbank. So Donahue to feed the scrum. Clark arguing with the referee. The referee rightly penalised him for not getting in the scrum and getting on with the game. So Donahue with the kick for touch. Finds touch 7 metres or so short of halfway. Street takes it up. Takes 3 men to stop him. And Leigh are back in the Bradford half of the field in possession. Donahue now to Collier. The ball is stolen in the tackle, says the referee. It's 2 penalties in quick succession for the home side. Or is it slamming down? So Donahue with yet another relieving kick for the home side. Now Leigh midway between halfway and the Northern quarter line. Don't forget they're a man short. Rowley on the tap, onto Troy Clark for Leigh. He's stopped by Dixon and McDermott. Rowley going from acting half-back, still going, but he's all on his own. Finally stopped by Fox and Powell. Straight on the charge now. Northern smothering the ball once more. It's out to Pendlebury now. Pendlebury cuts back inside. Upended by Powell. Fox completes the stop. Donahue now offers the kick. Collier, well, that was a knock on. The referee didn't see it. Northern get the fortunate bounce again. Now it's Fox handing it on to Watson. The inside ball to Dixon. And again Northern make good yardage in possession. Now it's with Clark. On to McDermott. That's a good tattle from Leigh. Pendlebury was the man making the stop. And getting the possession as well. Well, John Pendlebury as an ex-Northern player would have enjoyed that. Scott Martin now taking it up for Leigh. Stopped by McGowan over on the far side. Hanger, Donahue. But they're going alone in the end. And the runners went away from him. Rowley hands it on now to Pendlebury. Inside to Gunning. The tackler was Hamer. Rowley now to Donahue. On to Collier. Collier takes it into the Northern quarter line. Still going. Clark and McDermott stop him 15 metres out. It's on the last tackle. Donahue and the penalty for offside. Will Leigh run it? Street's held up 5 metres out. This is a good position for Leigh. Sarsfield, that looked like a wasted tackle. He steps back though. Gunning now. Hanger looks for the space. Shelford makes the stop. Desperate defence from Northern. Good spell from Leigh. Scott Martin now. Couldn't get past McDermott. Good defence from Northern. Holding the 12 men out. Street slips, gets a good ball out though to Pendlebury. Pendlebury dodges and weaves to Scott Martin. On to Dean Hanger. And Hanger's in. And he's disallowed it. He's disallowed the try. He disallowed the try for losing the ball. He said Hanger dropped it and Northern will tap from their own quarter line. Well, Dean Hanger can't believe it. And McKebby trying to crash through. Nothing going Leigh's way this afternoon. McDermott now held up by Rowley. So Leigh got to do it all again. Furbank gets it away. A terrible pass from Clark. Certainly Leigh have rattled Northern in this second half. Northern showed they can score from any part of the field. Watson now to Fox. On to Summers. Summers kicks. Caudle is well offside. Doesn't offer to chase. Hanger takes it. Looks for the gap. Fox makes the stop along with McGowan. Platt now for Leigh. McGowan makes the tattle. Leigh back in the northern half of the field. With Rowling out, Hamer makes the stop, but Leigh making good yardage in possession. Certainly taking the game to Northern. Donoghue on to Pendlebury now. Pendlebury dodges and weaves, loses the ball. On, says the referee. Well, I don't know how he made that one out. Sarsfield stopped 5 metres short, but good piece of fortune for Leigh. No way through for Booth. Leigh have got to move it across the field. Donoghue now to Gunning. It's now with Hanger. Oh, it's on to Collier. He juddles with it. He stopped 10 metres out. Gunning now. On to Street. Street gets it inside and Leigh are in. That one will count. And this time the try scorer is Troy Clark. Well, what a difference the half-time break makes. Leigh have come out, a man down, scored 2 tries without reply, and Troy Clark now to attempt the conversion. It's Leigh 10 points, Bradford Northern 30. Well, you've got to give credit to this Leigh outfit. They may be bottom of the league and they looked down and out when they went off at half time. They're a man short as well. They're playing against a team currently second in the first division that's run them ragged in the first half, and they've come out in this second half and scored 2 tries and had 1 disallowed without reply. So Clark to attempt the conversion, and he gets his second goal of the afternoon. I would hardly say that Leigh are back in this game, but the scoreline has a better look of respectability about it. It's now Leigh 12, Bradford Northern 30. On comes Simon Baldwin to replace Scott Martin. So Fox gets the game underway. Platt takes it from the kickoff, runs into McGowan. Clears the quarter line though. Simon Baldwin quickly in on the action. Well, that's an offside decision against McDermott. Had to play the ball, 2 men marking, says Mr. Morris. And Leigh have a 4-1 penalty count in this second half. And Donoghue finds touch in Northern territory once more. What have Leigh got to offer now? Street takes it up. Good run from Street. Collier taking it up now. Leigh forward certainly running with more gusto in this second half. Not afraid to take the Bradford 6 on. Finds his way to Hanger. Well wrapped up though by Summers' tattle. Roll it, not the best play the ball. Out to Donoghue. To Pendlebury. Gunning gets it out, but it's intercepted by McGowan. The defenders are Baldwin and Gunning, but Northern Almost caught Leigh on the counter then. There goes Dixon on the charge. Northern will want to get something from this second half. Fox's long ball to Watson. The inside ball to Furbank. Furbank just waltzes through the Leigh defence. On to Summers. Great tackle in Baldwin. But certainly Northern showed their class then. Referee said the ball went backwards as Rowley made the tackle. Summers behind the play the ball. Moves it out to Kebby. Good defence by Sarsfield. Last one indicates the referee. Powell behind the play the ball for Northern. Fox will put the kick in. Straight into the arms of a Leigh player though. Pendlebury was the saviour. And Northern have forced the error on Donoghue. Come up with the possession. Heyman out to Fox. Move the ball across and Caudle will go in at the corner. Northern had 3 men over on the far side. They've come back at Leigh in the best possible way with points at the other end of the field. Gerald Caudle, just a 20-yard canter to the try line. Goes over for Northern's 6th try of the afternoon. That makes the scoreline Leigh 12, Bradford Northern 34. Well, it's been a good opening first 15 minutes for Leigh in this second half. The team with the extra man has made it tell once again, moving the ball out wide, and Caudle scoring a walking try. But it's now Fox with a conversion attempt from the far touchline. And is successful. Tremendous kick from Derek Fox, 6 from 6 attempts this afternoon. And Booth. In fact, I got it wrong. Donoghue has gone off, not Troy Clark. So gunning with the restart for Leigh. Leigh will have to somewhat reshuffle. There goes Dixon on the charge. Leigh make the stop. And Fox behind the play the ball. On to McDermott. Northern now inside their own quarter line. Clark to Fox. On to Furbank. Clark once more. The inside ball to Dixon. Leigh managed to read that one. Street and Baldwin with the tattlers. Powell now. Collier the tattler this time. Last one indicates the referee. Fox puts the kick in. Platt retreats to 10 metres from his own try line to take that one. So Steve Corley's got on the wing for Leigh. Sarsfield has gone into the centre. Anger takes it up from acting half-back. Baldwin now, trying to get in on the action, make an impact. Pendlebury probing as ever. But the pass was never on and Northern come up with possession. Powell gets the loose ball. Fox now out to Watson. Inside ball to McGowan. McGowan gets past 2. Good tackle in the end. Coming in from Troy Clark. Fox now out to Summers. All the way to Kebby. And he was never going to get past Corley though. Furbank gets it away to Kebby. He's wrapped up though by Sarsfield. Summers attacked in half-back, moves it away to Fox. The long ball to Watson. Watson dodges and waves. That looked forward. The referee spotted it. Calls back Powell. Header ball will go to Leigh at the scrum. So it's John Gunning now feeding the scrums for Leigh. Hanger can't get away though. Good tackling Derek Fox. And again on Platt. Collier takes it up for Leigh, gets the ball away. Now Hanger on the break. Well, that must be a penalty against Caudle. That really was a ridiculous thing for the wingman to do. McGowan had made the tackle. Caudle wasn't even involved in the tackle and drags the man 5 yards into touch. Totally needless penalty conceded by Northern. Street takes it up now for Leigh. Gets it away to Rowley, but the ball is dropped by Northern. He'll give both knock-ons, and the first one will be to the advantage of Northern, who will get head and ball at the scrum. So 16 minutes remain here at Hilton Park. Leigh trail by 36 points to 12. Northern win the scrum. Here comes Watson now. Good tackle coming in from Troy Clark for Leigh. Fox now hands it on to Summers. Summers takes it up to halfway. Baldwin and Clark, the Leigh tacklers. Clark now on to Hamer. Hamer gets past the first one. He's held up literally by Pendlebury. Now here comes Powell. Tackling Rowley. Certainly Northern moving forward with plenty of purpose at the moment. Summers again. Baldwin hangs on to him. Watson now to Fox. Fox launches the high one. That'll come down with snow on it. And Rowley gets possession for Leigh. And McGowan makes the stop for Northern. Leigh just a little disorganised at the moment. Duncan Platt forced to take it up from acting half-back. No way through for Sarsfield. Roller now on to Pendlebury. Pendlebury stopped by the second row pair of Powell and Dixon. Gunning kicks it. Was he obstructed? Leigh claim. No, says the referee. Northern now with Watson. Well in Sarsfield. Got to Shelford at the same time as the ball. Clark now hands it on to McDermott. Tattle low down by Pendlebury for Leigh. Fox now on to Watson. Great tackling Clark. Now with Kebbit. Collier makes the stop for Leigh. Last one indicates the referee. Fox will put the kick in again. Deeper this time. Well, Hanger took the ball and the tackle at the same time. Calling out. Leigh substitute slips as he gets his first run of the afternoon. Now Leigh take it up. Good run from Platt. Rowley goes again from acting half-back. What a fine run by Rowley. There's nobody with him. Caught from behind by Caudle, but a great run from the Leigh hooker. So Leigh on the charge again now with Martin. A long pass to Hanger. Inside to Sarsfield. On to Gunning. Gunning, can he get through? But it's intercepted by Summers. Summers just takes the tackle from Hanger. One pass too many for Leigh. But certainly Leigh's contribution in this second half has been quite a revelation with 12 men. But Northern, to their credit, keep it going. They've certainly not eased off on this Leigh side. They've only 6 points to show for their efforts in this second period. Now McDermott. Stop 5 metres short of halfway. Clark goes left to Fox. Fox's long ball finds Watson. On to Shelford. Good defence by Sarsfield. Northern up to halfway. Well, Clark's well offside as Fox puts the kick in. Will that go all the way dead? Certainly will. In the end, the consultation between the Leigh fullback Dean Anger and the touch judge on the near side. So now Leigh back with a tap from their own quarter. Platt is the first man in. Pendlebury wrapped up by Furbank. Collier now for Leigh. Certainly, again, Leigh run with purpose. Take the ball up to their opponents. Scott Martin to Gunning, on to Street. Fine play from Street. Gets it away in the end to Rowley. On to Sarsfield. Good defence there by Northern. Sarsfield plays it to himself. Gets it away to Gunning. On to Pendlebury. Back to Gunning. On to Corley. Corley looks for the gap. Tries to put Anger through it. Sarsfield stopped a metre short. Last one indicates the referee. Martin. Collier intercepted by Cordell again. One pass too many. Desperate panic rugby from Leigh, but certainly a worthy effort. Given their supporters something to shout about in this second half. Clark now though, can he catch Leigh on the counter? Leigh have got a man down injured. I think it's Andy Collier. Into 11 men at the moment. Fox now bringing in Daryl Shelford. Leigh could begin to tire in these last 10 minutes. A reminder that they did play Wigan on Tuesday night. Fox now out to Dixon. On to Kebby, but he drops it. Gets it the second time. The referee will call them back for the knock-on. Well, certainly. It's been a very enterprising second half from both sides. Leigh have scored 2 tries in the opening 15 minutes for the second half. Northern replied with the Gerald Cordell walk-in. And we're in the last 10 minutes and Leigh win the scrum. Martin shrugs off the first tattle. Attempted tattle anyway. Rolling out onto Gunning. Powell and McDermott the tattlers for Northern. Pendlebury now. On to Baldwin. Baldwin tries to scatter Northern. Takes play into the northern half of the field. Rowley on to Straight. Straight bounces off a couple of tattlers. Stopped by McGowan in the end and McDermott. Langer loses the ball, but the referee says it was stolen. It certainly didn't look like it from my handle. There's nobody more annoyed than Dean Anger at the fact that he dropped that ball. As Leigh brings Simon Booth on to replace Andy Collier. So Leigh now 15 metres out. Rowley with the tap. First man in is Simon Booth. And he makes it to within 10 metres of that Northern try line. So can Leigh conjure anything up from here? Scott Martin now. Pendlebury drives in. Couldn't release the ball in the tattle. Referee's happy that he's still got possession and 6 more, he says. Tim Street. On to Scott Martin. Northern tattlers there once again. Running behind the play the ball. Pendlebury. And Baldwin's in for the try. Leigh have come back once again. The never say die spirit. Leigh reduced the arrears to 20 points. They now trail Northern by 36 points to 60. Well, Tim Street has been voted the Leigh man of the match, but I think after that first half pounding they took from Northern, the whole Leigh side, all 12 of them, plus the substitutes, have been heroes in the second half. I think Northern will be a little shocked by the way Leigh have come back at them in this second period. Scored 3 tries to 1. I think Northern supporters were anticipating a cricket score at the interval. Perhaps a lot of Leigh supporters as well. There's certainly been a transformation in this second period. Now it's Troy Clark. 2 from 3 attempts so far this afternoon. He's wide with that one. So 6 minutes remain here at Hilton Park. Leigh 16, Bradford 36. Gunning takes that one, hands it on to Booth. Good defence from Summers. So can Leigh finish with any more points? Hanger takes the tattle from Shelford. Crawley gets away from Shelford but not Fox. Rowley on to Baldwin. Charged by Baldwin. All's held in the tattle by McDermott. Rolling out to Gunning. To Martin. Pendlebury. Couldn't get the ball away. Last one indicates the referee. Street puts the kick in. Bit too far though. Watson will get to that one first. But Leigh are all there. They stop him 25 metres from his own try line. So Northern now with Caudle. He's Antle tapped by Scott Martin. McDermott now out to Powell. Clark moves it right now to Summers. So Northern in possession. Clark on to Fox. Watson. Furbank on to Kebby. Kebby stopped by a combination of Sarsfield and Corley. Last one indicates the referee. Fox drives Leigh back again. Hanger takes it 10 metres from his own try line. Gets past Kebby. Cuts back inside. Brought down by Dixon. Sarsfield. Leigh certainly running with a bit of enterprise, but a ball pinching again, says the referee. Amazing 7-1 penalty count in Leigh's favour in this second half. Baldwin now looking to make the most of it. Set away to Rowley. Good defence though coming in from substitute McGowan. Rowley takes it up again. Street keeps it moving. Ball, Simon Booth stopped this time in centre field. Pendlebury going. Leigh certainly moving with some gusto again. Baldwin takes it forward. Martin on to Pendlebury. Pendlebury gets it away. Kicked ahead by Baldwin. I think the referee had wiped the slate clean. Watson takes that one. Booth takes Watson. Well, that ball was never played, but Watson gets away with it. Really, when you look at these two sides, Northern appeared to be the tighter of the two at the moment. And they've played with an extra man for so long. And here comes Summers again. Hangers watched him and followed him all the way and made the tackle. I think the referee tackled Shelford off the ball. Now on to Watson though. Watson gets him. Dave Watson gets over for Northern's 7th try under the post. Just to confirm Northern's superiority. 2 minutes of the match remaining. Northern up to the 40-point mark. They lead Leigh by 40 points to 16, and the Fox conversion from in front of the post once again. Well, I said Northern looked the tighter of the two sides, but they've certainly got the faster men in the outfield, as Watson and Summers have proved once again. Now Fox with the conversion to make it 7 out of 7, and a scoreline of Leigh 16 points, Bradford Northern 42. So it's Gunning back at the centre with the restart once more for Leigh. There's 75 seconds of normal time remaining on my watch. The game as a contest was over long before half time. Powell did well to chase and take that one. The ball sat up kindly for him. Northern in possession on their own quarter line once again. Another suspicious looking forward pass to McDermott. Clark on to Amer, back to Clark. Street makes the tackle for Leigh. Leigh have certainly kept it going to the end, despite being in Northern being in an unassailable position. Furbank now gets it on to McDermott. Clark goes left to Dixon. Dixon looking to release the ball. Hell shouts the referee. Last one. Well, the ball was forward, so Leigh will get the advantage of the turnover on the sixth tattle. 40 minutes is now up on my watch. Northern will go home convincing winners of these two league points. No way through for Gunning. Knocked up by his opposite number Summers. Scott Martin now. On to Sarsfield. Sarsfield breaks clear. Can he get over in the corner? Great defence from Dave Watson. Great break from Sarsfield. Can Leigh finish with a flourish? Martin now out to roll it. The long ball to Gunning. It's inside. Street picks up the pieces for Leigh. Gets away from Powell. But Powell recovers to make the stop. Leigh 15 metres out right in front. With Gunning now. Well, the inside ball was well read by McGowan. Summers in on the stop as well. Northern don't want to concede a fourth try. Martin drops it. Black picks it up to roll it. Out to Sarsfield again. Well, Rowley deliberately let that hit his knees, and the referee called him back for a knock-on. Well, I think Mr. Morris guessed at that one. His arms were up in the air. And he pats Rowley on the back because it's having consolation. Well, Fox to feed the scrum. Possession to Northern. Now, can Northern finish with a flourish? No way through though for Furbank. Fox goes right to Watson. Long ball out to McGowan. All the way to Caudle. Great tattle in Duncan Platt. Well, we've had 2 minutes of added time at the end of this second half. And 4.5 minutes in the first half. And this time we head and ball to Leigh at the scrum. Leigh 16, Bradford 42. Northern come up with the possession. Referee not happy. Gunning feeds it again. And again the referee's not happy. Well, Leigh winning the third time, the referee's happy. No way through for Leigh, and Northern come up with possession. As the hooter goes to bring to an end a disappointing afternoon for the home supporters. But it'll be the Northern fans that have travelled over from Odsall that will go home the happier this evening. It's the final scoreline here at Hilton Park of Leigh 16 points, Bradford Northern 42. Tries for Leigh from Tim Street, Troy Clark and Simon Baldwin, with Troy Clark adding 2 goals. Northern 7 tries coming, 2 from Paul Newlove, 1 each from Trevor Clark, Neil Summers, Daryl Shelford, Gerald Caudle and Dave Watson, with Derek Fox converting all 7. So this is Derek Disley saying goodbye from Hilton Park with a final reminder of this afternoon's scoreline. It finished Leigh 16 points, Bradford Northern 42.